Hello and welcome to the Kubernetes Talk series. Today's agenda for the videos will be about the third component of the Kubernetes architecture, that is ETCD. This is the basic architecture of the Kubernetes, where the ETCD resides in the master node. But in the production, the ETCD is deployed in the multiple clusters. So let's see the high level architecture of the ETCD. This is the high level architecture of the ETCD. So now let's understand first what is ETCD with the help of this diagram. So ETCD stores the configuration information for the entire cluster, which includes information related to nodes, pods, services, and other objects. This information is used by the API server to ensure that the state of the cluster is consistent across all the nodes. ETCD is consistent and highly available and stores the data into key value format, which is used as Kubernetes backing store for all the cluster data, and it stores all the data used to manage the cluster. It is accessible only by Kubernetes API server. Moreover, ETCD are also fault tolerant systems. Now, what does that mean? It can also able to continue to operate in the events of failure. Generally, ETCD is deployed as a cluster of 3 or more instances for high availability, so that if any ETCD instance is unavailable, other remaining instance will continue to operate and maintain the state of the cluster. So as you can see in the diagram, this is the ETCD cluster. There are 3 ETCD nodes. Each node is connected through the Kube API server and are contacted with the Kube node 1. So now let's see in the cluster how ETCD is deployed. So this is our cluster. So as you can see in the cluster, ETCD is deployed as a pod. Since it is not a production cluster, so we can deploy the ETCD as a pod. So you can get the pod information regarding kubectl get pod using kube-system. This is set under default system. So let's see the configuration file of the etcd YAML file. So as the default path of the etcd YAML file resides in etcd Kubernetes manifest file. So let's go inside this. So here you can see there are different flags, the client cert authentication and the URL of the etcd. And also one important thing is like etcd always run on the port 2379. This is the default port of the etcd pod. And here's the name of the cluster and snapshot count. And also one of the major thing is the data directory. This is the path where the etcd stores the data backup of the cluster, and other volume mounts and volumes are also there. So let's just explore the data volume, this val-lib etcd, and see what's inside this etcd file. Val-lib slash. So we'll go in the member and see. So here's the snapshot of the db.db file. We will go inside that. So here's the db file. So let's open this. So here you can see the information is stored in the non-human readable format. Some information you can read, but not fully. So this is how the etcd stores the information of the cluster. So you can see here the information and other information about the cluster, kube scheduler, control manager. So this is how the ETCD stores. That's it for this video. We will see in the next video how the scheduler works and what is a scheduler.